kick it. Know what I'm saying? Yes. This is going down good. The women are about ready to get better looking. Oh yeah. Hey Stephanie, how you doing? How's it going? You having a good night? You partying? All right, come on for a little while. Just party. Yeah. And that's the truth. We're still on the right side of the grass. Yeah. I usually don't go to bed till like 2. You know, I was fucking around watching TV. Hey, LA, how you doing? How's it going? Went up and got a 6-pack of beer. I like driving at night. Plus, I go to like a truck stop slash gas station to get this 6-pack of beer, and I always like seeing what trucks are in there, stuff like that. Just makes me kick it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'll just be kicking about some good books today. I gotta cut down on my books. It's crazy. Actually, they have what's called Voodoo Ranger. You can get it quite a bit of few places. It's an ale. I'd prefer a stout, but it's 9%, 10.99 a 6-pack. Excellent beer. Voodoo Ranger. Oh, good for you, LA. That's cool. What are you watching? Debbie Does Dallas? Hey, Frisky, is that temporary tooth? Is that for that implant you're getting? Oh, Master Chef. Okay. I watch some of those barbecue smoking shows sometimes. Yeah, isn't that weird? Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah, I've picked up some good things in those cooking shows. The barbecue ones, the pit masters. That's kind of what got me into smoking stuff, to tell you the truth. I knew the first time I saw the Grand Champ with no teeth, 100 pounds overweight, and he said, "We ain't got none." I knew right then I could compete. Cool. I like cooking stuff. I like smoking stuff, you know what I mean? Because I'm not gay. No cupcakes and cakes here. I'm in Georgia, yeah, sure am, yep. Crawfordville. Yeah, I like it down here. It's like you turn back the hands of time 50 years. It's like time stuff. I live in a broke county. Oh, root canal, another. Oh, good for you. That's cool. Root canal. Root canals don't always work. They really don't understand the mechanism and why some work and why some don't. Isn't that weird? Probably you grinding your teeth at night? Yeah, I like it down here, Meezer Mom. Sure do. That'll take out a crown over time. I'm just kicking it, you know what I'm saying? I like staying up late. I don't know why. I've been this way my whole life. Yeah, that's kind of an advantage in a way, Stephanie. Really is. Yeah. I'll give you my opinion when you visit. Oh, have you a night guard? Yeah, I've tried one. I know I grind my teeth. I tell this dentist, don't even bring this fucking bullshit up. I need these teeth for about another 10, 15 years. I know I grind them. I know I'm going to get that long out of them, so don't be trying to talk me into this shit. I'm going to grind away. Fuck it. I don't think I do it all the time. Hey, Dave, how you doing? When you moving south? When you taking the plunge? Back in the old days, we'd do these chats all night long. It's crazy. Yeah, no, it's a super ripoff. Yeah, they make it's all profit too. You can get some really good ones online where you put them, boil them, and you put them in your mouth and stuff. Yeah, it's obvious. Yeah. Oh, good for you. You need any help moving that shit? Oh, red lights. Oh, okay. I think I'm going to go up to Columbus for a marble show in March. Yeah, no, it's hard to part with junk. Mid spring. Good for you. It'd be nice to get out of there. They had a lot of weird weather up around that area this year. I mean, unseasonably. Uh, uh, Amounts of rain, cold, weird shit. Yeah, I think they are. Vintage and machine made. Now, if it's new marbles, I know most of those guys actually that make the good glass art. I'll see them there at this marble show. I haven't seen them in about 6 or 7 years. They're not really marbles. If you make glass and it was the shape of a marble and it was never intended to play with, which of course it wasn't because they're $300-500 that kind of thing. It's considered glass art, not a marble. Oh, really? What? Where at in Kentucky? Where? Off 75? They've had some. Really, it's snowing there, huh? Wow. I see they've had some big pileups around Berea, Kentucky, a few times. Louisville. They got shit tons of homeless downtown. I don't know if you go downtown at all. That's a cool city, actually. I like how you can walk across that river. You go to the Indiana side, it's kind of dumpy. They just busted Rondo, the ex NBA player, with a gun and some dope in his car. Whatever that town is, right across the bridge. Louisville's got crazy crime too. It's a killer place to watch the barges. They have a good steakhouse downtown too. Oh, okay. Yeah, got you. Right. Yep. Are you doing that cave stuff? You didn't miss anything by not going up to the Northern Michigan Ice Festival. They canceled the climbing the day of the show. Mary got up there 52 degrees and raining. No ice on the bay. I like I like Lexington a lot better. Oh, cool. Well, that'd be cool. Now, what kind of temperatures are down there in those caves usually? Like, is it the same all year? Or? Oh, okay. Do you ever see any like are there any formations like Mammoth Cave in any of those places you go, or is that just specific to that area? And do you see any bats in the caves? Oh, gotcha. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Now, when you're down there, like with your friends, do you run into other people much? And has anybody ever been unlucky enough to be in a cave and it just kind of like shifted and they got crushed? I know it's unlikely, but has it ever happened? I thought of you getting a PET scan the other day. You know, I put you in kind of a tube like an MRI. Oh, really? I'm surprised these damn governments haven't fucked people out of going in those places. You know, calling it an attractive nuisance or some shit. You know how it is. They try and make everything idiot proof. Yeah. You know, just, I mean, I'm sure over years, even though it'd be unlikely that, you know, stuff shifts, you know, ground gets wet and who knows what else. But have you ever heard of that? I know they get stuck and drowned and all that shit. I'm talking about just getting smashed. Oh, okay. Oh, really? Oh, okay. Dave, you ever go up to Isle Royal? Yeah, check it out, man. So it's a national park actually, but I've never been there, but it's quite a place actually. Only 32,000 people visit it a year. Very short season. It's a 6-hour boat ride or a 1-hour plane ride. It's Michigan actually, but you can get there. It's closer if you're in Minnesota. Look it up, Isle Royal. It's an interesting place. And Royal has an E on it. I never went to it either. I always, honestly, you'd think I'd know more about it, all the stuff I'm checking out all the time. I knew there were like wolves there and they reintroduced them there and all this, but I've been reading about it quite a bit lately. It looks like a pretty cool, it looks like too much bullshit for me. I'd rather go someplace else where I could pull into a parking lot. I don't really like hiking either, to be honest with you. Yeah, no, right, yep. Hey, Imp Love, how you doing? How's it going? If you like rock hunting, down here where I live is paradise. And every time we get these big rains, it's just a whole new 3 miles of rock. I mean, they're everywhere. Cool looking rocks too. Yeah, I wasn't feeling too good for a while either. Oh, that's good. Yeah, tomorrow night and the next night it's supposed to get cold here, like 30. Yeah, but you know what, Imp Love? I don't know if you have insurance or not, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm not even going to take those home tests anymore. Marty told me like 3 people that he knows that took the home test and it was negative, and they went to uh, an urgent care because of their work and they were positive. And I've taken it twice, and I could have swore I had that damn shit, and it said negative. So I'm beginning to lose confidence in those. Yeah, no shit. Seriously. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the symptoms of COVID, And I mean, I think next time I'm just, and they don't rip you off at those urgent cares as bad as you'd think. It's not like a $1,500 bill. I think they charge like $50 for it, but it's a different test. Oh, no kidding, a coating of snow. Wow. Yeah, Michigan got some snow. I actually love snow, but it's depressing there isn't much. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I think I've had that. I know I had it once, and I think I had it two other times. No, I didn't hear about that. A new one? Mm-mm. A new version of COVID or something or some bacteria? Oh, a bacteria. Okay, so it wouldn't be COVID. Man, that COVID's a motherfucker. That shit'll probably finish me off my lifetime. Yeah, here Daisy's sleeping. Yeah. I cracked the window open for her at the foot of the bed, about 2 inches, and that cold air blows on her. She needs a haircut, but if I cut her hair short this early in the year, she doesn't want to go out and go pee pee. Here, quit snoring for a second. She heard me say pee pee. Yeah, I think you get what you pay for on those. Hey, Penny, how you doing? Oh yeah, no, that can happen, Drifter. I know. Yeah, I say fuck hiking. You couldn't give me $1 million to hike the Appalachian Trail. How boring. I just think it's super boring. And even though I like the outdoors and wildlife and all that shit, I can take kayaking or fucking canoeing for about an hour tops. Yeah, I'm doing all right. I got my PET scan results today. I did have a form of lymphoma, but if you were going to get one, it's the one, it's cutaneous, which means it's above the skin. I don't even think anybody's ever died from it, to tell you the truth. They found that I had a small kidney stone, and there's a spot on my liver that's nothing. They said they see them all the time. So that's one test out of the way. Now I'm taking these different tests for upper GI, sucrose test, and then I got an upper GI and trying to get to the bottom of this. See, that doesn't interest me. That's expensive to climb that. It really is. That wouldn't interest me either. Fuck that. If you die, they say, "What'd you do that for?" And if you make it, they say you're one lucky motherfucker. It just doesn't make sense. That hasn't been brought up yet, but I thought of that. But I've tested it by eating fatty foods, and it didn't bother me. So, good question. No, I don't. I don't know that this ever metastasized. I love the doctor I have. They've only seen out of all these doctors, all of them combined, 30 years of practicing. They've only seen my type cancer twice. Super rare. No, it's a pussy kind of lymphoma, to tell you the truth. I'm not too worried about it. But I talked to her. I asked her today about, she's an expert in leukemia, and I asked her when you inform these people about it's going to be tits up, 4 stage. Are you 100% honest? She said, absolutely. She said the way it works is stage 1 through 3, it hasn't metastasized yet. Hey, Rita. There are kinds of lymphoma that they can cure now in 4 stage. But she says with the other cancers, when you're 4 stage, right away they tell you this cancer is not going away, and they concentrate on comfort and extending your life comfortably as long as possible. But they don't bullshit you. You can actually get in trouble for tiptoeing around the truth. If I had to guess, I think I've got some kind of like gut syndrome, like there's a bunch of shit you can have wrong in your GI tract, like bacteria and shit that stays there and that, but at least here I'm getting like other things to do. They're not, they believe you that you've got a problem and they're not just quitting because you had a successful colonoscopy and an endoscopy before on the upper GI that proved negative. There's a million things you can have. But I don't feel that great. I have this, it's almost like I have allergies all the time. And I can take all these over the counter things. They don't do shit. Claritin, all that stuff. I mean, it helps a little, the nose sprays in the summer. I don't know what the fuck it is. But I'd like to get rid of it because I like don't feel that great. I don't think it's depression either because the top of my stomach, like the very top, has been like aggravated for about a year and a half. And it doesn't always seem to jive with what you eat. Like I could eat a pizza one night, no problem, and eat a pizza a month later, and I got a problem. So it's hard to say. Yeah, that's what I say. Keep looking. Yep. And there's certainly a fair amount of idiopathic diseases, which means they don't know what causes it. Chronic rhinitis is one of them. Yeah, I might try that. Yeah. But I've been to allergists before, not lately, and they said, believe me, if you were allergic to something, we would know it. You're probably sensitive to something, but all these tests we've done, I don't think so. Yeah, gut health. Oh, gotcha. Yeah, I say fuck that homeopath shit. Bunch of bullshit. It's true. Now they're saying that your mental state of mind affects your gut. It's like, oh, fuck, no wonder it's not working. Well, we haven't got to that yet. That'll be in the next discussion. I can't get this uh, upper GI till like April 29th, but they have me on the cancellation list. I'm not that excited about it because I've had one before and they said, you look fine. It's like, well, something's fucked up. Keep looking. Now, this place, I'm on this sucrose test where you blow into these little tubes and shit and send it off in the mail. Plus, they're going to do an automatic biopsy, which is a hell of a lot better than just looking up there and saying everything's fine. No, I had it. I've had this before. I don't think it's related to the South. I mean, I think I might have allergies too, but nothing like crazy. I mean, I never have to blow my nose or anything. It's just a little like rhinitis and a little itchy eyes. You don't feel like doing anything. Yeah. Yeah, you got to get lucky with probiotics though, because the chances of you just picking one off the shelf and getting that chemical composition just right is pretty low. No, yeah, I believe that, Dave. Yeah, I believe that. Yep. Now, when I tried those once a long time ago, it seemed to me when I read that the best probiotics were these live cultures you could buy at Whole Foods, not some cheap pill that you got through Amazon. And like the other day, I ate those fried shrimp or fried oysters, and no problem. And then I come home and like eat a fucking salad, and I feel like shit in the morning. So it's just hard to say. Those probiotics never did that to me. They shouldn't do that to you. This doctor I have is Indian. She says, your gut changes too depending on where you live. Actually, if you look at studies on Indians that move to the UK, they start having massive cholesterol problems. And she tells me when she goes back to see her parents once a year, that the whole fucking family gets diarrhea the whole time they're there from the food. Isn't that crazy? She said she's on it her whole life. She's been on a 98% plant-based diet. Yeah, fuck, I don't know what it is. Probably organs just wearing out, getting old. That's another thing you wonder about too. This fucking weirdo cancer I got, I was reading one of the descriptions of it, and it said it mainly affects the elderly. Yeah, okay. Hey, I finally made it. That's me. Yeah, no, I get it. Tired of worrying about it. Yeah, that's what she said. Yeah, yep. And you look at like stomach cancers and stuff among Asians. Now, I didn't get a chance to read the article today, but there's some health expert out there saying that white rice is better than brown, that brown has a lot of toxins that are in the shell that are part of the kernel. I'd never heard that before. You know, anywhere you go that I ever read was like eat brown rice. You don't know what the fuck to believe. As I sip my 9% alcohol ale beer after eating about 8 ounces of Lay's potato chips. I actually love this cancer clinic I go to. It's so professional. I mean, it's a beautiful new $18 million building. Everybody's super nice. I love the doctor, man. If there was anybody that was ever going to be a doctor, it's her. She's really pretty and she's like super kind and just a nice person. Nah, I don't think so. I never read anything to substantiate that. Nope. I haven't. I've asked Ted about it too. But, I mean, who's studying that? You know what I mean? Yeah. I mean, it's not, I can live with it. I just rather not, I wish I felt better. I always have this like little bit of like cough, because I have this rhinitis bullshit. I wake up, I feel tired when I get up. I'm not taking any more of these fucking sleep studies either. I mean, now I'm not on the greatest mattress here, but when I move over to the other house, I have a brand new one. And I'm going to run a good charcoal filter air cleaner. I'm going to I'll tell you what else that I've done lately is, I'm reading a book on cancer now. It's called Rebel Cell. Triggers things that get these cells to mutate. Uh, and I'll tell you one thing that I do though. I give my ex-wife credit for this. She was on this shit uh, early. When I clean and stuff like that, man, I am way more careful now. When I'm like cleaning the toilet with that foam cleaner and using fucking Fantastic and all that bullshit to clean the refrigerator, I wear a fucking mask. I do. I mean, I was never breathing it in anyway, trying not to, but you smell that shit, so you're breathing some of it in. God knows what that does to your goddamn lungs. Oh, you liked yours too, Rita? She came in the door today and said, I'm going to tell you right off the bat, I got nothing but good news. I was a little worried, not a lot, not so much about dying, but about suffering, because I thought it was pretty damn odd that they got me in for a PET scan so soon, and the appointment with the doctor was the day after the PET scan. Like they were rushing this shit. But as it turns out, that's just worrying. Yeah, I don't want to suffer. Fuck that, man. And really, I mean, I don't know how you think about it, but I think about this stuff much differently now than I did when I was younger. If I was 25 And, I was having this stuff, I'd be, like, worried like hell because you don't know shit, you're naive. You think life's gonna turn out to be just, like, great some kinda way. Your time hasn't come yet. Then you get older and shit, you know what the world's really like, it's like, "Fuck it. I got 10 or 15 years, I mean, if I got cut out of those, is it that big a fucking deal? I've had a good life, they're not gonna be that great anyway." Sitting around all limp-dicked. Yeah, suffer or be shot. Yeah, I'd say shot, be shot. That takes a lot of balls, though, to shoot yourself. It's a whole nother animal between suicide ideation, thinking about it, and actually pulling the trigger. It's like that bullshit Dave does, crawling around those fucking caves. First of all, it doesn't interest me, and secondly, I just, I just wouldn't want to be like underneath there, climbing around that fucking shit, you know, with like an inch on each side of me and a flashlight on my head. Wow, 8 months. Oh, good for you, Drifter. Good luck. I was kind of surprised on this PET scan, believe it or not. I mean, I'm not, I'm not claustrophobic at all, but this is fucking weird. And I can tell you a couple incidents I've had where one time I was out at Beartooth Pass, which is the east entrance to go over to Yellowstone. And it's like the craziest like drop offs you've ever seen in your life. No guardrails. And I was all hopped up on coffee. And I was like kind of like panic attacky-ish, you know? I didn't have one, but I was like, thinking I'll be glad when this drive's over. It's like I'm about ready to put on my four ways and pull over. And then for some fucking weird reason, when I got that PET scan yesterday, was it yesterday? Yeah, yesterday. And he said, "Well, do you need any like tranquilizers or anything?" It's like, "Nah." And I looked in that fucking thing and it was like really small. Like, then they strap your arms to your sides. And when you just try to move a little bit, like you can't move at all. And I didn't freak out, but I can tell you this. I thought to myself, just shut your eyes and just think of some bullshit, flying a fucking spaceship or something. And I did it, but I can remember like I was surprised how much these lights were flashing. And I felt like the thing like moving me in. And I didn't want to see myself going deep into this tube. So I just like really concentrated on some bullshit. And then it's 15 minutes long. You're in the thing. They shoot you with this dye and you have to wait 45 minutes. And then I thought, man, this is taking longer than 15 minutes. And I opened my eyes and like my head was out of the tube. It must have been just photographing. It was from my head down to my waistline. So when it was moving around, and I thought, oh, that's good. This isn't so bad now. But I would say that I was a little uncomfortable. Yeah, but I've had MRIs and stuff before, and it never bothered me a bit. I just shut my eyes and thought of some bullshit. But that was a little different yesterday. I think it was the light. I think if I had it to do all over again, if I got a PET scan, I would put like those things you put over your eyes to keep from seeing light, because it looked like a damn fireworks show. And it was that, and knowing it was a slim, contained tube. It was just a combination of things. No, it never bothered me before either. Yeah, I should. Yeah, that's right. Yep. Yeah, you're right about that, LA. Ain't no shit. Should have took a fucking gummy. No, I would take a gummy like if I was going through a rural area, like, out in the country. But man, when you get up around Athens, even though it's a town of only about 127,000 people, It's the University of Georgia. It's where people from everywhere come over to work. And it's a lot of traffic, bumper to bumper bullshit, merging, lights. You're not just driving down the road by yourself. And I don't want to take a gummy under those circumstances, even a little bit of one. I mean, you need to be on your A game. You can't be fucking around. If you notice when I go through there, my phone is always recording on the rear view mirror. It's because you got to be paying attention. Oh, okay, Penny. Hey, Amy, how you doing? Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna be like, you just have to be stupid to like do that. I mean, I do that shit on my phone, but I try to be careful. I notice when I do that on my phone, I'll keep the phone high. It's never like I'm looking down. It's kind of like above the dashboard where I'm always looking forward. Right. Yeah, it's a fucking pain in the ass taking somebody with you. Like I got to take somebody with me on the 29th because they give you you get sedated for this upper GI and they check that shit too. You can't take a Uber or any of that bullshit. They'll come out there and like ask like, is the ride for Tom Reed here? And if somebody doesn't say yeah, they'll cancel that fucking test. When I was living in Chicago, I had to get I had a detached retina, and I hired a homeless guy. I gave him 100 to go and 100 if he was still there when I got out of the motherfucker. He didn't even drive. We both took a fucking bus down there. I told him, man, you tell these fuckers you're the driver. Make up some kind of goddamn car you used to drive. No, they don't want you taking taxis. None of that shit. Right? Oh, you can't? Why is that, Penny? Why? For some reason now, you never know until you get in that situation. But I don't really worry about like dying. Really. I worry about suffering a little, not a lot. But I mean, I also talked to this doctor about hospice. They'll come out to your house and you'll just be so fucked up. Oh, falling. Yeah, that makes sense. You'll just be like stoned out of your fucking mind. You can be like this. I've never even smoked marijuana. I have done gummies. I've never done any other drugs. I'm not bragging. It just never interested me. But I'm sure if I got like 4-stage some shit or congestive heart failure, I'd want to just turn into Jim Morris until the end. I think when you get drugged up like that with morphine and painkillers, that it's not that bad. It's like going to sleep and not waking up. Yeah, you're right, Rita. Yeah. I wish that if like let's say they said to me, the way they work these protocols for the end of life is they base it on tons of studies, different type cancers, small cell, medium cell, all this kind of bullshit. It's tons of data worldwide, and they're pretty damn accurate. Now, there are exceptions. Some people don't live that long, some people live longer. But I think if at that stage of life, at the end, where you didn't have a career, you weren't in a relationship, I'd want to try every goddamn drug known to man. I want to try them all. Crack, meth, heroin, fucking, what's that? Some of that other shit. Crank, morphine. Yeah, that's it. Palliative care. That's it. Palliative care. Isn't palliative care just treating you nicely? Palliative care? Isn't that what that is? Oh, crank. Oh, I'll skip that one then. Okay. Hospice. Yeah, we're lucky we have that. I've mentioned this before because I've read it, and there were some lawsuits I worked on as a PI where I got a chance to look at some discovery, some records that had been subpoenaed. And hospice is super fucking expensive, private or non-private, and also non-profit. They bill the fuck out of the federal government for hospice care. I tell people all the time they get it from all ends. They get it at the beginning when you're dying. They get it at the end when you're dead. A lot of people will hospice their shit because they helped them die comfortably. And they get it through donations from the people that are alive that are going to die later. I'm not really sure what palliative care is. I thought it was just treating you nicely and with dignity. But it must be different because Rita said palliative, then hospice. So, I mean, who the fuck doesn't get treated nicely that's dying in a hospital environment? Oh, put it in writing? Yeah, they better fucking do it. Oh, you did hospice? Huh. Oh, it's starting to need help. Oh, okay. Yeah, they're nice. Of course they're nice. You're getting. There was a guy when I was growing up I've mentioned this before. He was a good guy. His son was a friend of mine. He got killed in his motorcycle in high school, and the dad was just a miserable motherfucker. Good guy, woman hater. He used to tell me all the time if he ever got a chance, he'd fuck the Virgin Mary in the ass. But he was a nice guy. I know that seems crazy, but he was very good to us as kids with terrible fathers. And I got wind that motherfucker was dying, uh, and I was living in Florida, and I came up there to help him. And I remember ordering some shit online because he didn't want to die. He was scared. Called Cancel, Cancel, and he died. A reef ball? Yeah, I like the idea of that, but that's a lot of bullshit to put somebody through, isn't it? I like the idea of that, but I don't. I want to make it easy. I don't give a fuck what they do with me when it's tits up. They can grind me up and make fucking sausages. Really, I'd like one of those deals where they take you out and they let the vultures eat you. Why not? They probably spit me out. Yeah, a woman. He was a good guy though. Nick Stavich was his name. Oh, a plan deal. I bet you that shit's illegal though. I bet you they'd fucking if they caught somebody doing that shit. It's technically illegal to spread ashes. I know two pilots. Now I had met them. I wouldn't say I was friends with them. I know two pilots crashed their fucking airplanes and died spreading ashes. Really, Penny? Now why would insurance pay for that? Yeah, I've heard of it before. I mean, he was a good guy, man. Nick was a good guy. I know you say, well, how can a guy talk like that? He was. He was just an angry guy. Oh, pretty cheap. A reef ball. Like, okay, so say you die. Where are they going to take you? Where? Corpus Christi or something? I'm suspicious of that shit. When you get cremated, that's not you got to pay extra to get your ashes. I think it's stupid. A big carbon footprint, too. I get a kick out of these organic milk drinking motherfuckers that think they're doing the earth a favor by not getting buried. That's a high carbon footprint. It takes 2,300 degrees to incinerate bone. You're going to leave a big carbon footprint, Stephanie. A reef ball. Huh. Yeah, really, I think when it's tits up, I really don't care what they do with me. I don't. They could feed me to rats or like, you know, there's places that like where they take your body and they leave it out in the sun for science, all sorts of shit. Oh, the family can dive down. Yeah, I don't have any family though, really. I'd like to have a bunch of strippers dive down and just strip their clothes off and be swimming around there nude in my honor. Just go out being vulgar. Yeah, who cares? That's the way I look at it. Nah, it's true. Yeah, I don't think you'd feel anything, but don't you want to protect the environment for little Mason? Yeah, funeral costs are fucking crazy. I don't know how it is where you guys live, but when's the last time you had to like stop for a funeral procession going through a traffic light? I can't tell you the last time I saw one. Oh, they are documented. Huh. Coral reef. Well, okay. You better not get too close to that. They'll give you a fine. This I was reading in the bookstore today the difference between weather and climate change. But these coral reefs are struggling with this increase in temperature. Hey, hippie chick, how you doing? Yeah, you never, but I know this for sure. You never really know what you're going to do until you're faced with it, you know, till you're there. Oh, two people and two pets. Yeah, that's kind of how it turns down. Yeah, that's kind of true, Rita. I personally, I think I don't get the scatter and ashes. To me, it doesn't make any sense. Stupid. Now you can argue ashes to ashes. It's not as stupid as going in a vault in the ground. That's even, it doesn't make any sense. I hope they use mine for like, you know, smoke you. I don't care. You just fade into an oblivion. It's like falling asleep and never waking up. Would you guys, if you guys had a chance, would you? Oh, it's a song. Oh, okay. If you guys had a chance, and you had a chance to know a week in advance before you die, would you want to? Oh, forensic farms. Oh, okay. Huh. I'd smoke you in the barbecue. I'd do it, Stephanie. Would you like hickory, mesquite, pecan, apple? You wouldn't. Oh, you're a donor? So what are they going to do, Penny? Just cut out the good parts and then put the rest in a reef ball? I think I would too. I think I would too. A week, I mean, yeah, just go out, just go hog wild. If you knew you were going to die in a week in advance, would you go shoot some of your enemies? Repo. Oh, really, Rita? Oh, I never thought of that. Yeah, but there's no residual effect to chemo, is there? Did you ever notice any signs of that chemo brain they talk about? No, yeah, yeah, I bet you they would, Stephanie. Would they take out, like, the organs, Penny, and then put you in the reef ball? Oh, okay. Yeah, me too. We could be Bonnie and Clyde, Stephanie. Our life sentences wouldn't mean anything. They could give both of us, like, triple life sentence and we'd laugh because we would be 80 years old. And we'd say to each other, we killed both these motherfuckers. And our only punishment is going to be 6 years because we'll be 86. No, I don't blame you, Stephanie. Oh, really, Penny? Wow. Huh. You will have completed the life cycle by then. Nobody's going to get to visit your grave then. Oh. Oh, okay, Amy. Oh, well, that's nice of you to do. Good luck to you. Yeah, it's just life. It's not really a struggle, you know. You never know what's happening, you know. He is back. Heart and kidney failure. Wow. Now, how is your how's day to day for you? I mean, is this like something that you're happy to do, or not really, or it's not my business either? So you don't want to answer it. Kidney failure. Boy, the thoughts that must go through your mind, Emmy. I hope I don't get stuck with any shit like that. Yeah, party more. Yeah, I mean, that's a benevolent gesture. I don't know that that's in the cards for me, though. You know, when I'm done with somebody, I seem to be done with them. I don't wish them any ill will or anything bad. I mean, I didn't like them when they were healthy and vibrant. It's the last thing I want to be doing is helping him. Oh, he isn't very nice. Oh my God, Emmy, yeah, you're a saint. Wow. Are you religious, Emmy? See, now, if Emmy is a good Christian and Catholic, this is good works. She's taken the high road, a higher calling instead of caring for her own feelings. All right, good night, Rita. Yeah, I don't know if I could do it. Maybe I could. I don't know. You don't know until you get faced with it. Maybe Emmy didn't think she could do it. Oh, okay. Okay, Emmy. So, Emmy, were you open arms to this or reluctant or both? Did you feel it was your duty to the like a death do us part thing? Huh, that's interesting. Well, You have a lot of character. Yeah. Oh, okay. Emmy, did he have anywhere else to go? Oh, okay. Daisy's dreaming. Well, this will give me a lot to think about when I'm falling asleep. Oh, wow, Stephanie. Yeah. Somebody asked if you have children, Emmy. I think Penny did. Wow. 81. At this cancer thing today, all the people in the waiting room looked half dead. Probably include me. Oh, gotcha. Well, that makes sense. I was thinking the other night laying in bed. Well, now this makes sense. All you have to do is simple math, but my whole neighborhood on both sides of the street, all the parents are dead. Which, of course, unless they were like over 100 makes sense. But God, when you just think of that, you think back everybody around, seeing them and stuff when you were young, and they're all dead. Good night, Stephanie. Oh, that's nice. Nighty night. Oh, really, Penny? Well, you've taken the high road. Right. Huh. Well, you're a good woman, Emmy. Oh, okay. Did you get those cows out of your yard? Yeah, circle of life sure is. It's all great when you're young and vibrant, but coming down around the last corner of the circle of life doesn't doesn't seem that fun. All you got to do is turn in an Oprah, an old Oprah rerun. They're 78 and having the best sex of their life. Oh, gotcha, Penny. Yeah, I don't think I would either. Huh. Yeah, I do. I think about it too. Yeah, I think it's normal thinking. It gives you perspective, and it also confirms your own fate, which you already knew about, but in a more realistic way, factual. Yeah, you do not, Emmy. Yeah. I'm at the age now where I know a lot of women my age. A lot of their husbands are on a 1 foot on a banana peel. Why is that, Penny? I didn't really love any of these people. They just passed. Oh yeah, I don't know. Do you think it does? Brings you down? I don't think it brings me down. Maybe it does. Yeah, I don't know if it does or not. It's not like you're dwelling about it and that's gonna be me any day. You're just acknowledging that they're no longer around. Oh, thank you, hippie chick. I think about old girlfriends and stuff like that sometimes. Yeah. I think if I had it to do all over again, looking back, like from like 18, I'd have given them a lot more cum facials. I hate to get sentimental here. Well, thank you, Penny. Yeah, right. You're seeing my sensitive side. Yeah, you look back on that, it's like, God, man, I can't believe this. And then sometimes I see young people that get killed, prematurely, early, from the full circle of life, and I think all the shit that they missed out on, you know? Like the people that died before COVID. Oh, thank you, LA, for recognizing that. You gotta be more loving. I should have said hugs. I'd have got more votes. Well, life's worked out for you pretty well, Penny, relationship wise. Yeah, hugs. Yeah, I've never been too much of a huggy guy. Yeah, thank you. I hate these fucking people that want to give you hugs. Just gives me a chill up my spine. I don't care what they look like either, for once. Just like gives me the creeps. It's like weird. Why don't you give me a fucking hug? Right. I think hugs are stupid. It's a certain type personality. There's a couple of ladies when I go back to West Branch want to give me a hug. It's like, oh God, just the cringe factor is like pegged out. Yeah, so many years, right? Yeah, it almost seems like a thing of the past. I just don't get it. Even just say shake hands or some shit. No, hell no, it did you good, Penny. Better believe it did. How's that our Big Ten selling? Yeah, I didn't even like him from my wife. I didn't like him from girlfriends, anybody. Maybe strippers. But that was just like a rite of passage. Yeah, you can't tell. I mean, it's real because they're hugging you, but it's like, I don't really get it, really. I bet you get fired at some jobs now if you hugged people. You know who had a problem with that for a while? Anthony. My buddy's kid. And I told him, they asked me what I thought about it. And I told him where he's fucking up is he needs to hug some fat ones. I thought that was great advice, and it was true. If you looked at the women he was hugging, they were all cute, young, teens. He wasn't hugging any fat ones. I said, Anthony, you got to spread this shit around. You got to hug a couple old ones and a couple real fat ones, and nobody will think a thing of it. But the young ones are thinking you might be a pervert. You'd be surprised at some of the people that made a big deal about that up there. Seriously. I've had, like, older women come up to me and said that when he's been with me, and it's like he hugged their daughter or something, I said, I wanted to tell him to get the fuck out of here, but I knew it would just complicate it. I saw it happen. It was nothing, man. I mean, it's somebody with an obvious issue, and you're treating this as if it's like a sexual overture, you troublemaking bag. Really, it happened more than once. Like Karens, you know? It'd be like a small boy hugging. He doesn't know any better. It's not sexual. It's just, he sees that as, a social interaction. Oh, and the strippers, yeah, they hug you. You pay them for a lap dance. I was never into talking to the strippers either, to tell you the truth. There were times I'd give 'em money to just not bother me. I don't like that kind of bullshit small talk. It does, Penny, it is, because it's very obvious of what's going on. And for you to say that they felt uncomfortable, I hope your daughter doesn't turn up as fucked up as you have. I mean, you're an adult woman and you can't ascertain this? Just like Karens. It's crazy. Yeah, it sucks. Oh, do you? Oh, okay. He's as innocent as a driven snow, and for you not be able to tell that, especially living in that town, and make a comment like that, it just pisses me off. A nephew and a goddaughter, okay. Are they high functioning, Penny? Oh, yeah, you know what I'm talking about then, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I just had a buddy of mine up in Northern Michigan get a part-time job as a sheriff's deputy, and I talked to him today, and he's going through this bullshit training. They call it micro some shit, micro sensitivity training, and the example he gave me is like, you can't, like, make comments about whether you think they're a man or woman. The example he gave me is, like, if you saw somebody that was an obvious Mexican, okay, looked Mexican, dark-haired, all that, and you said, "Are you from Mexico?" You can't say that. You'll get written up for it because you're assuming because they have dark skin and dark hair and speak Spanish that they're from Mexico, and that's a form of stereotyping, and they don't want you asking that shit. Can you believe this shit? Oh, that's cool, Penny. Oh, wow, so he's high functioning, good. Yeah, it's called micro sensitivity or some bullshit. Like, if you see a fucking, cheerleader with a fucking 9-inch cock and their fly opened, you can't even, like, say anything like that. It's so weird. Like, everything is like, walking on eggshells. Yeah, me too. Like, if you saw, like, gays, like, obvious gays at a gay parade, you can't be, like, saying anything about rainbows or any of that shit, even though they're blowing each other on top of the float. Yeah, no shit. You gotta take a fucking test on this stupid shit. God damn. I know. Yeah, tread lightly. Yeah, you can't say anything. Yeah, you say fag or something like that, you're getting the fucking death penalty. You're just like not sensitive. And transgender, you'd probably cut off a leg or something. I mean, joking is considered on the same level as being serious. Right on, Penny. Yep. Right on, babe. You have to shut up, yeah, because you're being insensitive, and there's nothing wrong with being gay. And that you assumed because two guys were 69 and deep throating each other's cocks that they were gay. Fucking crazy. Yeah, yeah, that's it. God damn. Fucking A. Yeah. I got a buddy of mine that he was a airline captain for Delta. He's got every fucking award there ever was. He can fly all this fucking bullshit, helicopters, gliders. He's a designated examiner. And he has a gay son. I've told you about that before. And I talked to him about a month ago. And when he asked me, this was a long time ago. The son's like 46 now. He asked me if I thought he was gay. It's like, fuck yeah, he's gay, man. This guy would be sucking more fucking cock than that girlfriend you're fucking dating. It's like, what makes you think that? It's like, what makes me think that I'm not his dad, motherfucker? You already caught him with Betty Crocker cookbooks. He had Playgirl instead of Playboy under his bed. What do you got to get him? Butt fucking somebody is gay. Fucking accept it. Well, he didn't want to believe it. Well, fights, cops called. I mean, the worst fucking possible scenario. Bill would go around complaining he was never going to have grandkids. And I talked to him about a month ago. And I said, I just want to congratulate you. I said, your son, he's just a good old fashioned gay guy sucking cocks and butt fucking. Look what transgender's done. He said, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, you do. It's true. Yeah. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You say, it's $100,000 fine in the NBA for calling somebody a fag. They can call you a motherfucker and there's no fine. I don't really give a shit about that stuff. But the days of joking about that, particularly in a work environment, are over. They think that two serious, uh, sexual, committed adults, even if they're the same sex, is no different than straights, which is probably true. But at this generation, it's just like I probably shouldn't think it's funny. I shouldn't think it's funny. I shouldn't make jokes about it. It's like race too. All that shit, man. You better bury it. You make a slip like that on a fucking as a sports commentator, you're done right then and there. Lots of those guys in the last 5 years got nailed for like saying chinks and making their eyes like skinny slits like Asian baseball players and shit. They're fucking gone, man. That's why we need to bring Don Rickles back. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right, Penny. Yeah. You know what I wonder? I guess they've done studies about this too. But these gays that are like adopting kids or something, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you can come from straights and you have like the worst life imaginable. I know this. And I'm sure there are great gay parents. But I think sometimes how I'd have reacted if I'd have been born to like two gay, adopted by two gay guys, and I was just young and thinking of them blowing each other in the next room, if it would have affected me. Eh, do you think, Penny, do you think it's possible for like two gay guys to just like bring up a straight male normally? Do you think that's possible? I mean, do you think it's fair to a young straight kid to be raised by two loving gay men? Okay. Do you think you'd have grown up as the same person with two lesbians raising you? Loving family matters most. Hey, JMO. Yeah, but let's say, yeah, okay. So, JMO, let's say you'd have been raised by two gay guys and you like walked in and they're like hugging each other and shit, rubbing each other's back. No mom. You don't think that'd have affected you? So then you're taking sexual preference out of the equation with regard to good parenting. No, but sooner or later, you'd figure that out pretty damn early. You'd figure that out pretty damn early. I mean, I believe there's a biological basis for homosexuality. And I don't think because two gay guys raised you, that means you're going to be gay. Nothing like that. A good man? Yeah, I wish I could tell you. Shit, we're trying to figure it out tonight. We're trying to ascertain if being raised as a straight person by two homosexuals affects you in any way. I think at my age, I think it'd have been a major ass problem if I would if like my dad and I didn't have a mom and it was another man and I knew they were in there banging each other in the ass, it would have really bothered me. I didn't give a fuck how nice they were. No, that's true. I agree with that. I agree with that. I'm just wondering if anything is lacking. It would have bothered the shit out of me. It would have bothered me. I'd have rather had two arguing straights than two men cornholing each other. It would have fucked me up worse than I already am. Well, I wonder about these things, you know? I think it'd bother me. Yeah, it would. It would. But I think by that time that they'd already be prepared to like run a major deflection, you know? But if what I believe is true, there's a biological basis, I guess there's nothing to worry about. I mean, it's not like being gay is a bad habit, you know? Yeah, that's right. That's it. Yeah, you're dating a girl, you're 17, you bring him home and here's my dad and here's Fred, his wife. Yeah, it's like, well, where's your mom? It's like, well, I don't have a mom. She's just I I got two guys as the ones that plays the role of the mom. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah. I mean, but it's one thing accepting something third party and accepting it as an individual when you're involved in it. Yeah, but that's easy to say, JMO. That's easy to say because it doesn't bother me either, but I'm not the kid that's there. This is the problem. I just can't help believe that there isn't some maybe very subtle consequence of this all. Whether it's two lesbians, two gay guys, whatever, with straight kids, that the fucking shoes got to drop somewhere along the way at a disproportionate rate compared to straight kids being brought up by straight parents. Yeah, you're right, hippie chick. Yeah, I don't mind this gay shit at all. I really don't. I don't have a problem with it. Yeah, I don't mind the gay shit. I really don't. Yeah, I think that would matter too. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of variables. But if you stack the deck of cards, all the way and you looked at large numbers of, the examples that we're talking about. Hey, Blue, how you doing? Right. I mean, that would have a lot to do. If you were from a highly educated, affluent, like let's say academic neighborhood, like a college town, probably wouldn't mean jack shit. But if you were on the south side of Gary, Indiana, working at a steel mill, it'd probably be the end of the world. And I still think, and I'm not saying this is right or wrong, that this is people say, well, and I believe this. I think there's a biological basis for it. But this is the way I explain it to people. If Blue Malibu's going to have a son, and I'm going to have a son, and one of them's going to be gay, I want her to have the gay son. I mean, I don't think you should get penalized for like wanting a son as a straight male that boxes or plays football. I mean, and him and his wife go to Hawaii for a honeymoon rather than the fiance draping his big cock and balls across his forehead in a local park. It's just different. It's like I'm just so proud of Johnny. I'm sure he's blowing Fred right now out in the Grand Canyon. Yeah, the fairy tale life. I don't know if that's fair to call it a fairy tale. I'm just saying, if you had your druthers and you could make a pick, if you were a straight parent, would you rather your son was passing the football to win the Super Bowl or sucking a cock in an alley at a drag queen show down in Key West? I'm not saying one's better than the other, but if you had your druthers. My point here is there's differences. Yeah. Oh, really, JMO? Yeah, it's probably true. Yeah, that Kansas City football game. Oh, sorry for that. That's terrible. Oh, it'd be hard, all right, Penny. And if I had a gay son, I'd have to drop a whole line of jokes. You can argue this same kind of logic with adoption and stuff. Like if you look at studies of adopted children and psyche and their lives and how they perceive, it's different being born to your biological parents than it is being adopted. I'm not saying it doesn't work or it's better or worse, but it's different. All right, well, how about this then, JMO? How about you have two degenerate gays as your parents and two degenerate straights? What's the difference then? You're comparing like, okay, none. Yeah, okay. Oh, okay. All right. How about this? Here's one for you. Do you guys think the gay sounding voice is an act or that's just the way they speak? What's your take on the gay voice? You know what I'm talking about too. So are mine. We might not be around if our parents weren't drunks. That's that Texas Baptist logic, though, Penny. Yeah, but that doesn't affect your voice. You think it's an act, hippie chick. That's interesting. See, I don't. I used to, but I don't think that anymore. Oh, really? That's interesting. Yeah, I've had this conversation with other people before, functional drunks. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. Like, there's probably 4 or 5 guys down here I think are drunks, but they'll argue with you about it. Hormones, yeah, biological basis, yeah. I think it is. I don't think it's an act. Oh, you think it's an act too? See, I don't think it is. I'm not saying that, some people don't act. I'm talking in general. I think it's just the way they talk. Oh, you're not a drunk? Okay. What would make her say that then? Good for you, JMO. There are, Blue. There are. The problem is there aren't good numbers or studies on them because they're closet users. But I fully believe, actually, there's a black guy that's a tenured professor at Columbia that's a proponent of functional heroin use. Look it up. Columbia professor and heroin use. There's just tons of shit on it. I think he's a fucking kook, but not because of that. But it's an interesting proposition. Oh, gotcha, Penny. No, no, I'm not saying all. No, but I think the Pee Wee Hermans and the RuPauls, and I think that's just the way they talk. If you had a hidden microphone, and they were lost in the woods for 2 weeks, they'd be talking to themselves in that gay voice. Oh yeah, I get it, Penny. Yeah, she thinks that the alcohol is the devil's influence and all that bullshit. Probably right. Oh, there you go, Blue. There, bingo. Okay. Oh, gotcha, hippie chick. Okay, yeah, all right. That's your opinion. That's valid. Speaking of beer, I'm gonna grab another one. It's party time. They say don't drink alcohol; it affects your REM. Here I am saying I feel tired all the time. I'll quit some things, but not that. Daisy, what do you want? Still crazy after all these years. Still crazy after all these years. You gotta still be crazy after all these years. Yeah, I think that's oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, it's true. That now I know this is a sweeping generalization, which of course is probably false, but just my imperial observation. You've empirical observation. You've been around. You observe things. It's your opinion. It's not science, I know, but to me, it seems like in most of the gays that I know, maybe all of them, were hard workers and very good with the public. They're very good. And I think I used to say all the time that if more police departments hired gays, you wouldn't have all this crazy like violence between cops and people, these macho fucking troublemaking cops. If you just had gays show up, it'd take the fire right out of the balls in these civil disturbances. Oh, I'm crazy. Oh, I've been to them too. You've had female relationships, hippie chick. So would you identify yourself as bisexual? Hey, Conan. Playboy did a study, and I was probably in my 20s, and they said that most, whatever that is, I guess over 50%, males had at least one homosexual experience by the time they reached 40. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, oh, okay, heavy check. Good. Good for you. I searched my ass off trying to find, you never had one, Lidford. You never had one. We don't know you that well. You never had one. You gotta like, we gotta like know you solid. Bisexual. Now, hey, let me ask you about this, hippie chick. Just your opinion on this. There's a guy that used to, he wrote a memory book and he owned they owned a dating site. I want to say Hello Kitty. I know it's not that, but for some reason I always think of that. But anyway, it was going to be a liberal dating site where, and they did what Google did. They take all the data they get from what people search and how they identify themselves, they crunch it, and then they publish it. So nobody knows who's who. And an interesting thing about the study that they did that they use their data for is when they it was a dating site. You could go on there, you could be bisexual, straight, gay, whatever, right? And that 95% of the people, now mind you, they don't know anybody's keeping track of this shit, which is as good as you can get information. They don't know they're being tracked. 95% of the people that identified themselves as bisexual only searched one sex. So it was almost like cool to identify yourself as a bisexual, but when it came down to looking for some action in the search boxes, you only searched one sex. Weird. So the $50,000 question to you on this origin of bisexuality, I've read that it's like people in general seem to be gay but experiment. Would you agree with this? In other words, is bisexuality 100% valid? Oh, that's interesting. Huh. No, I was always hoping I always hoped I'd have a bisexual girlfriend. I never really got one. I talked a couple into two-girl blowjobs, but that was about it. Oh, interesting. Now, hippie chick, how about this? Were there different levels of like attraction? I mean, can you and Ernest say that, like sex in this example, you don't have to answer this. It would ring the bell with a guy at the same level it would ring it with a girl. Oh, anyway, congratulations. Oh, it's Ken? Oh, okay. All right, sorry about that. I don't know how that happened. Oh, okay, there you go. Oh, okay. I don't know what happened. That they just pop off sometimes for some reason. Oh, really? Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I never had a bisexual girlfriend. Now you can be at a party and girls know what guys like, and if a girl really likes you and they'll make out and dance and act like they're gonna do some shit, but a lot of times it's a bunch of bullshit. Oh, it doesn't come with them blue, huh? I thought it did. Oh, okay. Would you say, hippie chick, is it possible for, like, if you rated sex partners, you know what good sex is and bad and like super sex, like you had it a few times in your life, could you actually say that you could have like top-notch great sex with a male and a female? That's what I thought, Emmy. Yeah. Oh, really? Huh. Oh, bye. Yeah, I wish I could. It's not what you're thinking, though. As a straight male, I'm thinking if I had a bisexual girlfriend, she'd be recruiting girls and bringing them home, and I'd be getting two girl blowjobs, but it doesn't quite work that way, unfortunately. There was a girl, she's gotten old now, Heather Harmon. iDeepthroat.com. I did some work for them actually when they were getting stalked one time. But I always hope to have like a girlfriend or a wife like that. Oh, bye. Have you really? No kidding. Well, lucky you. Like I tell people, I never had any like male fantasies or anything. I don't even think I could be like in a room with another male, nude male. It just wouldn't like do anything for me. And I don't think I'm more of a male because I don't like dick. Actually, I mean, if you like sex, it's like you get a lot more easy promiscuity and cheaper blowjobs if you're gay. So there are advantages. That's not the reason. It just, honestly, it never interested me. Oh, okay. Huh. Well, good for you. Oh, two nude males, Conan? Two new males are like that would be a turn off for you. It's funny what people like, you know. Gays are experts at feeling you out on that shit. They'll know in 5 minutes whether you're gay or not just by questioning. Oh, you couldn't? It just wouldn't interest me. I don't think it'd mean that like I'm afraid of getting turned on or any shit like that. It's just I don't know. Like these women that get double penetrated in these porn movies. No thanks. I'd have to take a handful of Viagra. Oh, that's awesome, Hempelhoof. Yeah, those the Romans, they'd fuck anything that walked. Yeah, you're right about that, Ollie. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? How do we get here? I don't know how that came up. It's fun talking about it, seeing where we what people like. Oh, it would bore you. Yeah. That's usually the reaction I got from most women, and I felt them out about bringing another woman around. It's like, no, with a big, loud voice. No, you're right about that hippie chick. It's true. You're right, hippie chick. Yeah, I believe that 100%. It's reviews. You're right. Yep. Penny, you strike me as somebody to be like really super anti-porn. Are you? It's that Texas Baptist. You'd feel like it's the devil, like corrupting your mind and breaking family values down and all that shit. If you caught hubby beating off to like Deep Throat, would you be in the Catholic version of purgatory for a month, or would you just let boys be boys? Oh, okay. I'll tell you what's weird though. This is like the opposite thing of like being attracted to men. I will tell you this. In my porn watching years, there were movies that I wouldn't watch because of some guys that rent them. Isn't that weird? And it wasn't because I like liked the guys of the movies that I watched, but there were some porn movies. If there were certain guys in them, I didn't want to watch them. Isn't that weird how the human mind works? Oh, get your feelings hurt? Would that really? No, well, if guys watch porn together, now this is just what I think. They watch it to laugh and joke. They're not sitting there beating off together. I got in some major arguments with girlfriends and my wife. When I'm watching porn, I don't want anybody around. I don't need a fucking commentary or your comments. Just get the fucking lost and let me deadbolt this door. Now buy a dozen roses. Just beat it for now. Yeah, I don't like watching porn with women either. No way. That's like the cheapest, like sleaziest way to think you're gonna have sex with a woman in the world. If any woman I know said, "Hey, you like porn, I know you watch it, you got a bunch of 'em." I mean, I have stacks of my own porn, to tell you the truth. You guys know this, you've been around a while. If somebody wanted if some I don't care what she looks like, wanted to watch porn with me, it wouldn't interest me. I don't want them around. I don't I'm not into that. It's not some modus operandi to have sex with them. It's like I don't like to be bothered. It can be, but it's not always. Why don't you watch it anymore, Ken? I'll admit my porn watching is real trailed off. Yeah, I wouldn't want to watch it. I got some major arguments with my wife. Yeah, it wouldn't interest me. No. And this sounds fucked up, but this is how the human mind works. I've never met a woman in my life that would watch porn on her own. Never. Unless they were lying. And I don't know why they'd lie to me about that. Yeah, really. Yeah, no. I don't want anybody around. No. And I never thought porn was real, but I was wishing it was. But I know it's all like fake and bullshit. No, I know. I can prove that. I can prove that to you. You're right, Amy. It's true. Yeah. And I think it does a number on like your on normal sex lives. Oh, okay. Well, there's probably a silver lining to that, Ken. Oh, okay. Yeah, it's just different for women. Wouldn't if how about like Penthouse Letters or a romance novel or erotica? Like a book like that where there was like love and romance and courting and that kind of stuff. Would that interest you, Conan? Oh, good for you, hippie chick. Hippie chick, has there ever been any consequences of being bisexual with your partners? Does anybody ever like not liked it? Yeah, they do. That's true, Ken. Yeah, you're right about that. It'll mess up your sex life. That's true. Hey, Brianna, how you doing? But I know a lot of women. I mean, even when I was young, like in college, they'd read those damn penthouse letters, those dirty stories from beginning to end. They'd read the whole damn book when they should have been studying. No, yeah, it's true. Yeah. Now, Ken, if you were 20 years old and you couldn't get a hard on, that's the end of the fucking world. But like, if I couldn't get out one on now, it's really not that big of a deal. All it'd be is less jacking off. I get more done. It's different. Oh, Dr. Ruth? Oh, okay. I bet she was terrible in bed. Oh, okay. And here's another question too now. Far as I know, now I know it can reverse. You can have a reverse when you have this estrogen testosterone cross over post menopause. But just from like women that I'm friends with and women that I know, uh, I don't know of any women that were like really into sex too much after menopause. Does this, I'm not asking you to answer it, but does it seem believable? Hey, hippie check, how about this? Have you been with more guys or more girls? Yeah, big time different. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, Dr. Ruth. I bet you none of those who are those two sex researchers too, those famous ones? Oh, it does. Yeah, I don't think it's good, but I think, when it's biological and it's truly a hormonal issue and it changed the way you think. What's bad is when you want to have sex and you can't. But I think when it happens in a hormonal way, which of course creates and causes all of this, I don't think it's that bad. You just do other things. I mean, you know. Oh, okay. Masters and Johnson. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. What I think about sometimes, I don't know why. Yeah, it's Daisy snoring. Yeah. What I think about is the different sex you have with different people. You did different things. That's it's just interesting how that turns out like that. Yeah, Daisy snoring. Yeah. Yeah, different sex with different people. Yeah, question to you, hippie chick. Yeah. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Just curious. Yeah, I think that would be bad. Yeah, I think that would be bad. Yeah, you want to have sex and you can't. Probably true. Yeah, I bet that is terrible. Oh, more girls? Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's all based on hormones, LA. I've always said that. And menopause is a perfect litmus test to prove that. Even in Mother Nature. Yeah, that's it, Ken. Yeah. More girls. Now, a hippie chick, let's say you're dating a guy. Would this be something he'd have to pry out of you? You were open about it. Was he jumping up and down like he'd won the lottery when he found out you were? How did that pan out most of the time? I guess the the biggest question I have is, did you ever find men turned off by it? Do you really, Penny? Unbelievable. Yeah, but she wouldn't anyway, though, LA, other than maybe birth control pills. That's unbelievable. See, if I didn't know you like I know you, I'd think you were lying. That's unbelievable. That's got to just be like some freak. That's got to just be some freak coincidence, like being 8 feet tall. Oh, at age 20? Okay. She's probably taken after old mom. Now your kids are getting laid more than you are. No, I know you don't lie, but I'm saying if I didn't know you, I would think you were lying. It just doesn't sound believable. And not just me, but anybody I know. Oh, that's interesting, hippie chick. Huh. Yeah, good for you, Penny. You got lucky. Good for you. Wow. Still do it twice a week. That's crazy. You should have been on Oprah. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm getting. Yeah, that's probably true. I was really good friends with a Catholic priest who ended up dying from lung cancer. And, he did a lot of confessions and like marital counseling and all that kind of stuff. And he convinced me there was a whole nother level of sex when you were in love. Feels sad. Why? Oh, gotcha, hippie chick. The one and only, no kidding. I don't think I've ever had that happen, to tell you the truth. I think that's why porn fit into my, like, psyche so well. Oh, good for you. Penny wants more. You need to write a book. I'd buy it. Yeah, it's just such a fucking pain in the ass. I think porn just fit into my, like, psyche just perfect. I'm not saying it was good, but I don't think I ever had that, like, kind of like loving, like, intercourse and stuff. Oh, congratulations, Ken. I don't think I ever had it. I think you should. I think it'd sell. Yeah, because you have credibility. It's believable. Yeah, I think I missed the boat on all that stuff, to tell you the truth. I think it was I mean, I'm guessing. I don't know. I'll never know. But I think it was a combination of genetics, upbringing. Yeah, it's just, I mean, I could have been born retarded. It could have been worse. It's just that's how it works. I don't feel sad about it. It's just, I know that how life works out for some people. Now, that's the thing with smoking. You can quit for 20 years, go to a wedding reception, think you're just going to have one, be right back where you were when you quit. Yeah. I think I definitely think I was a sex addict for sure. Yeah, I don't have too much willpower. Nah, I don't think I did really. Maybe one time. One time. And yeah, one time I think when I was like young, 21, just once. No, to me, honestly, it was always like sex. I wasn't really thinking of much else. I mean, I liked him and stuff, and we held hands and all that kind of bullshit, but it never really lasted long. I mean, really, I treated my sex life like porn. I did my whole life. I guess it's sad, but I'm not sad about it. Yeah, I don't really want it now, I don't think. I think I'd probably feel like, I'd be uncomfortable with it. It's like, the beaten housewife, they keep going back to the guy. I think it's just a part of a mental framework that's like you, and you get used to it. And if it lasts long enough, you've seen women that get treated shitty. You introduce them to a good guy that treats them nice, and they're bored. Yeah. I don't think I'm capable of like an intimate relationship. I really don't. Which I don't really find it a problem. Like it's not an issue. Like because I don't really want it. You know. Oh, I know it's different. Yeah, I know it's different. Yeah. I just don't think it's like uh it's like a hard wiring. A mental framework. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's possible. I probably did and wasn't into it. You know what I mean? I mean, if you met my ex-wife, you'd think I was stupid for divorcing her. And you might be right. I mean, I think that was probably I divorced her. I mean, I just got sick of that, and it was pretty damn good. Yeah, I think that if I had like one thing that I think I got lucky on, and that is I don't get lonely. And honestly, I think it's mental illness, to be honest with you. I mean, it manifests itself in verbalizing to like someone like you. I don't get lonely, but I think it's more complicated than that. But that's the end product. I'm hard to be around full time. Moody, watching porn all the time, wanting two girl blowjobs. It's just not. It's a tough fit. So I mean, there's an argument that you could say, well, yeah, porn created that. Probably true. Probably true. I think it's probably true. Yeah. But I think a lot of that's hormones, you know? Yeah, that's the way I look at it. I mean, I'm not saying, it's like utopia, but it's good enough. Yeah, but I think it's over in the sense that, it's over if you don't want it. You know what I mean? I think I could have a girlfriend. I just don't want to fuck with it, to be honest with you. You know? Nah, I just don't think I could do it. I mean, it just doesn't really interest me. I don't think I could like handle somebody around all the time. And I'm sure my libido isn't going to get better. Even more reason not to like do it. Yeah, right. I mean, I've said this before. I mean, you guys, Jabo comes on here. You guys know Jabo, and I know Jabo pretty well. If I had my fantasy relationship, like, and this could be all fucked up too, but this is how I think. If I could have my perfect relationship, really, this is no bullshit. You're gonna laugh and think I'm fucking around, but I would have Jabo as my girlfriend, non-sexual, and have a 20-year-old come over and blow me with her sister twice a week. Really, this is my fucked up thinking, which of course isn't going to happen, but I'd have the intellectual like greatness of Jabo and the crazy sex shit with someone that couldn't count to 10. So you see the conundrum here? So before you know it, 40 years get by and here I am, but I'm not complaining. I mean, I know what I'm like. These and it's and see that way I'd have like the normals. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. In a perfect world, like somebody like Jabil's not going to put up with that shit. So you see the problem? No, it didn't really interest me. I tell people all the time, man, if Miss America knocked on the door nude at 2 in the morning, I'd call the police. I don't want to fuck with it. Yeah, thank you. No, you're exactly right. Bingo. No, they wouldn't. No, and anybody that would agree to that is automatically right out of the chute fucking crazy. Yeah, no, you're right, Blue. It's true. That's true. I just turned 68. No, okay. See, JMO, but JMO, I think that's hormones. You wouldn't have done that at 20. It's impossible, Conan. It's impossible. I mean, I'm not saying it could never happen, but it's pretty damn unlikely. No, I don't think that's possible. Yeah, I get it, JMO. Yeah, I get it. You would not, Penny. You would not. They do. They do, Blue. You're right. No, you're right. Yeah, it's true. No, and women like want romance and like, all that stuff. You should. You should do it, Ken. You do it. Create one. I think you should. Nah, you haven't really missed anything though, Penny. No, I don't think you missed anything. I mean, I think the way you describe your relationship, that everything would have been Everything else that you think you've missed would have been second tier. You've busted through and grabbed the brass ring for real. Right, JMO. Yeah, that's how they articulate it, Conan. But I think it's much more complex than that. You know what I mean? I think uh, I think it's just personalities. No, you wouldn't do it, Benny. You're full of shit. No, I feel as good as possible. Believe it or not, I don't think that this relationship thing is in any way a problem. I mean, I'm more worried about running out of birdseed. It's so far down on my list. Fucking crazy doesn't help. Now, hippie chick, are you are you married now? Are you married or have a boyfriend? Right on, JMO. That's because the hormones aren't creating that stuff you would consider love and intimacy. Yeah, it's part of it. Definitely part of it for sure. I mean, I was genuinely interested in those interviews. Still am. I just don't have the right people. Yeah, they do. Yeah, bingo. You nailed it, LA. Desperation in what way? No, not you or me. No. No, you're not kidding. Yeah, it's kind of good in some ways though, Conan. You know. Oh, another thing too, and I'm not saying this is with you, but these women that I've met in my life that claim to be bisexual, all of them, every single one, all of them seemed to, not always deep down, but they all seemed to have some kind of axe to grind. They were like pissed off people. Yeah, I think so. I've noticed that like my emotions like I mean I know what I'm like I'm all for like helping underdogs and all that stuff, but that's all arm's length away. But I've noticed like even owning pets and stuff, I don't even care about that anymore. I keep trying to get Marty to take Daisy. Oh really, Patty? Like in what kind of way? And why if you're in that much love? Why? Like stress? Oh, thank you, Ken. So I think you guys would at least agree with this. You can understand, like a guy like me, the way I think, why I would pay for it. And it isn't because I don't think it's because I couldn't get it otherwise, but in my twisted mind, it skips a lot of the bullshit. The intimacy, having someone around all the time. I don't have to have intercourse. I don't have to hug in bed. There's no commitment. I mean, it just fits me to a T. No shit. I mean, I've joked with friends of mine, the money is for what I don't have to do. Yeah, kind of, NC, yeah. Oh, thank you, Conan. Yeah, but you wouldn't, but like we're friends on YouTube and stuff like that, and we have a good time, like being honest and talking and that kind of thing. But like even, if you thought I was the best looking guy in the world, which I'm sure you don't, there is no way in hell you would want to put up with me as like a boyfriend or dating. I know this about myself. You would get tired of that like very soon. Yeah, well, you're honest, JMO. Yeah. Good night, LA. You nighty night. You party on. Hope you don't get snowed in. But if you do, it's supposed to snow in the winter in Ohio. But it's fun to talk about these things, where other people come from, their attitudes, their experiences, that kind of thing. Oh, never married? Oh, okay. I wasn't, the only reason I got married is because I wasn't, honestly, this is going to sound terrible, but I'm going to be honest with you. You know why I got married? Is because, first of all, I was friends with her for quite a while, and I didn't even know she liked me like that. And I got married because she was attractive. The sex was fucking awesome. She went along with anything that I wanted to do. And I knew if I didn't do that, it was never going to get any better. And I even got tired of that. I got tired of that. No, it's just telling the truth. I mean, I've experienced this as me, and that's just the way it is. I mean, I wouldn't say it's like happy, sad, any of that. Oh, disrespected. Yeah, gotcha. I do interviews. Yeah, I do. Why, you want to do one? I do them when I can. To be honest with you, though, I mean that Detroit thing was just like a great time in a short period, you know. And I got lucky with those. It was just like good, fun, interesting. And then I got out of them. I moved, and I have interviewed homeless. I'm just not really into it that much. Yeah, you're lucky. Good for you, Penny. Good. How you doing, Iron? Yeah, that's like, romance novels. Yeah, but I think Control, I was like the most jealous guy ever. Like lunatic jealous, fucking crazy. Oh yeah, you can interview me. Yeah, go ahead. Fire away. Let me have it. Some cocksucker is fucking calling me. Restricted. I never answer those calls. Restricted. And I don't because I'm not going to give someone the privilege of telling me to fuck off and hanging up. Well, I can on this. I can on this, Rise, because I'm doing it on YouTube, not StreamYard, but I'd be glad to give you an interview if you wanted. If you want to do one tomorrow night, we could do it on StreamYard. I could do it. I'll give you a link. Oh, I was the most jealous guy in the world, man. Let me tell you how bad it was. I mean, I'm all for there's no surprises with me. Jay, I mean, if you said if you take for an example, you got stressed out, you were having problems, and you wanted to come down here. It's the safest place in the world you can be. There is no bullshit with me. I would never do like I don't do any immoral bullshit, lies, taking advantage, zero. Yeah, I was that too in a lot of ways. Oh, thank you, hippie chick. Well, thank you, but well, I can tell you this. I know what my strong points are and my weak points are, and I know what I'm like as a person. I think I'm a good guy, but not so much with long-term uh, relationships. Can we do it tomorrow night, Rise? Because it's like 3 in the morning here. Can we do it tomorrow? Well, I mean, I mean, I still keep in touch with like girls I've known for like forever. Believe it or not, I keep in touch with some escorts that were blowing me 35 years ago. They're married and they have families and we still keep in touch. Isn't that crazy? But as far as I know my strong points and weak points, I mean, I think I'm a good guy, but not as a man to have a relationship. And not because of the typical philandering and infidelity. I don't do that shit. I haven't always been this way. I'm just like weird. I'm in Georgia. Can we do it tomorrow? Yeah, total control freak, big time. Who they hung around with, guys that would make comments. If my wife or girlfriend's work someplace and some guy came onto him, I would want to go there and like beat his fucking ass. This is how bad I was. How about Sunday then? Or Monday? I would confront boyfriends they had before I even knew them. Oh, Anchorage. Wow, yeah. You got how's that 100 inches of snow you got? Well, because I'm going to be going to bed pretty soon, and it'll probably take a while. And I'm chatting with other people, and you can't. There's no link on this YouTube. It's not like StreamYard. Nah, forget it. Nah, I would if I could, Conan. It's a very slim piece of the pie. Very slim piece of the pie. Oh, okay, all right. Yeah, it's not that easy though. Believe me, man. I mean, really, man. I mean, I know what I'm like. No, they really can't though, because it's like if you interviewed me, it would all be like texting. It wouldn't be talking. Like you could only text. They can't drop you a link to interview. Good night, Emmy. Nice of you to do that. Oh yeah, we could do that sometime, Hippie Chick. You can email me. I'll give you my phone number. Yeah, I mean that's kind of like an old cliche, like loving yourself. I mean, I'm not saying your pops is wrong, but I don't I don't I don't think like I don't like I wouldn't say it was Valen. Oh yeah, I was like a total control fucking not jealous. Crazy. Really. I mean a crazy violent motherfucker. Seriously, man. I mean, I think there was a reasonable chance that I could have been in prison the rest of my life over some stupid shit of a guy finger fucking a girlfriend 10 years before I knew her. Really, that kind of wacko crazy shit jealousy. Like I thought about it like they robbed me of my intimacy of these women. It's fucking like nuts. And I have like I'd say all my buddies, and we would have discussions about this, and it's like, is your wife a virgin when you married her? It's like, nah. It's like, would she have much sex? Like she had sex with three or four guys. Did that bother you at all? It's like, no. I didn't know her then. I mean, she was a consenting adult. It wasn't rape. It's like, and it drove me fucking crazy. I'd stay up nights thinking about that stupid shit. Now I knew this shit back then, Conan. I mean, I'm the kind of guy where we would be in anywhere, a concert, shopping in a grocery store and see guys staring at my girlfriend or something. I'd confront them right then and there and be like fucking psycho crazy, be ready to like bash a can of fucking olives over their head. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know. If I had to guess, I'd think it was genes and upbringing. And my parents were crazy motherfuckers. Both of them were pill pop and druggies, alcoholics. And I bet you money I was conceived under the influence. And I bet my mom smoked and drank the whole way through. It could have fucked up my brain. In what regard? Still blowing me? Yeah. Spitfire, I'm not blocking any messages, but I'll block yours because I didn't block anybody. But I'll block you. It's none of your business who we block here. I was, but I'm not anymore. Not anymore, I'm not. No. But when I was young, all I'm saying is up to probably 40, I was like crazy. Yeah. Yeah. Crazy jealous, crazy controlling. Yeah, I don't want to do that right now. Quit bugging me about this. I'm going to block you too. I don't think it was a lack of confidence. I mean, I'd tell you if I thought that was it. I mean, I don't think so. But, it's subjective, right? Oh yeah, just fucking psycho, man. Yeah, I mean, luckily it never got me in trouble. It never got me in trouble, but it could have. It just didn't. No, my parents, it wasn't like violent. I would say it was just indifference. I mean, from being a young kid, like, and this could have nothing to do with it. You never really know. See, that's the thing. It's a moving target. You don't know why you turn out the way you do. I mean, look at Jim Morrison's dad. It's a colonel in the military. Look at Jeffrey Dahmer's parents. Nice people, great upbringings. I mean, you just don't know what causes this sometimes. Oh, well. Oh, that's good. It worked out for you, Aaron. Definitely dysfunctional. Definitely dysfunctional, for sure. My parents were kind of indifferent. Never looked at my report cards. Didn't come to my graduation. Yeah, thank you, Penny. Get rid of all these people with these stupid ass comments. Never had an interest in like going to college or nothing. It was just kind of like really people that fucked, had kids, and my sister was crazy too. And two stillborns in between. And just kind of grew up on our own, like no like emotional attachments. That's right, Iron. But I don't know if that's like I can give you examples of good parents. No, no, nope, I don't. No, nothing like that. No, nope, not like that. And I'm not like that anymore. But part of it is, getting older and figuring things out and, saying to yourself, uh, I am fucking crazy. But I think mostly, honestly, if I was betting, I think it's just hormones dying out. I mean, like I told you, I thought Irish and Scottish. Like I told you, I think I was a full-blown fucking sex addict from about 15, for sure. I would do that to guys under the right circumstances, for sure. I never, like, beat up girls or anything, no, no. Why, Ken? I never did anything like that. It's amazing I never got in trouble. And honestly, and I've talked about this before too. I mean, the truth, anybody that's like been around a while that, it's been on the chats or Penny knows, and all these women know that have been around a long time. I mean, I've been a huge porn addict my whole life. And if you had to like rate like your sexual interest, I would place porn number one and like an intimate relationship with a woman at about like number 22. So the bottom line on it is I was way, way, way more interested in watching porn than having actual sex. And I think that had a lot to do with it. I do. I mean, I'm just, guessing. You try to, piece these puzzles together, and that's what I can come up with. That's my guess. I mean, I think I set a false standard of like what interested me, and I just could afford it, and I went with it, and that's probably true, JMO. That's true. I actually thought when I was younger, like that was a possibility. I mean, I knew there was like acting and fakes. I'll give you a perfect example. Like I was really into two girl blowjobs for a long time, and 90% of the time, the second girl was paid. I have fucking stacks of those. And when you compared that to like having a relationship, honestly, I didn't want to fuck with it. It wasn't exciting to me. I didn't want to be fiddly fucking around in front of a fireplace talking shit and likely getting like terrible head and spending a month getting there. I wanted to cut right to the fucking chase, even if I had to pay for it. And that like interested me way more than the real thing. Good night, Conan. You party on. Yeah, I'd say that's probably true. Now, if that's the cart before the horse, maybe. I mean, it's a little clearer now. At the time, no. I didn't look at it as emotionally disconnected. I looked at it as the way to go. It was no fucking around. It was separating the good from the bad, and that fit my personality to a T. Yeah, I never considered a struggle, man. I was always like, fucked up, twisted way, like happy for it. Let me give you an example of like porn. My mother-in-law used to come down and visit when I was in Florida, who I didn't really like that much. There was a place in Orlando. It's still there. It's just north of Orlando. It's called Fair Villa. It's like the biggest porn store you've ever seen in your life. When I went in there the first time, I like almost fainted out of happiness. I looked around there. There were 3 floors of porn, huge amateur section. They get like 100 fucking new releases in a day. When my mother-in-law, I would have done this when I was married too, but my wife wouldn't have put up with it. When my mother-in-law would come into town in Florida, I would go up to Orlando with 2 VCRs, rent a hotel for 10 days or 2 weeks, get food delivered in, and watch porn 15 to 20 hours a day and never leave my hotel room. It did. No, I agree with you. I did. I did, Blue. Yeah. I would watch porn. I would rent. I would go in there. I would have to go in there and like meet the manager because you could rent like five, and then they thought this fucking weirdo. He's gonna like take 20 of these movies and we'll never see him again. I just go in there and lay it on the lines like, hey, look, uh, I'm up here. I'm a fucking really into porn. Here's my credit card. You can put $1,000 deposit on if you want. And I want to rent as many fucking porn movies as I can watch a day for 10 days to 2 weeks. It's like, okay. It's like, will you mind if we put like a $1,500 deposit? It's like, nah, fuck, do it. Go ahead. I take you know why I took two VCRs? In case one of them broke. And I'd check into a hotel and I'd watch porn for 7, 10, 14 days, however long she was going to be there, and just watch fucking porn. Get pizzas delivered. Now here's the kicker. The happiest times of my life. You can take Disney and cruises and golden wedding anniversaries and all that fucking bullshit and new cars, new motorcycles, new houses. That didn't even compare to the feeling I got on my way to Orlando. I was living in West Palm Beach when I was going to watch porn for 2 weeks straight. It was like total nirvana. Oh, did you, Ken? Yeah. No, yeah, unrealistic. It was unrealistic. And even back then, it was like a type thing. My wife knew what I was going to do, which was part of the reason why I got married. Like she knew I was kind of like that. And it's like, look, your mom's coming into town. I don't need to tell you anything about that. You can spend time with your mom. I'm not trying to sell it to you as I don't want to interfere with the good time you're having with your mother. I'm glad she's coming actually, because there's no fucking way she was going to put up with me being gone for 2 weeks watching porn. And I was just the happiest motherfucker in the world. Oh, sorry about that, Kim. I'm glad you overcame it. It's the same shit. But if you look back on this and you said to me, yeah, it's fucked up. You didn't learn to be intimate. Look at you now. You're fucking jacking off at 68 and alone. Yeah, that's all true, but none of it bothers me. Like that's your standard. No, it was no, though it wasn't bad though, because it was only like it wasn't every year either. And I'll shit you not, there were times I'd rent 40 porno movies a day. 50. I was in total fucking heaven. Getting pizzas delivered. No dope, no drugs, no alcohol. So fucking great. I'm tearing up missing it. I didn't work then. I didn't. I got lucky. I sold a fucking detective agency in 1992 for $1,300,000. Shit luck. I only had it 10 years. Sold it to two guys that worked for me. One guy used to pitch for the Tigers. He never made it to the majors, but the minors. And that's why I know I'm not an entrepreneur either. Because the minute there's been two occasions in my life where I made out like a bandit, and that was the biggest one that really kind of parlayed my whole life. And it just rolled from one thing into another, and it really kept me from working. And the minute that I had enough money where I didn't need to go to work, I said, fuck a job. Now, if I'd have been an entrepreneur, I'd invested that and started other business. I thought, fuck that, man. It was full time jacking off and sleeping in, and I was open arms to it all. It wasn't. It wasn't. No. If you look back and that hadn't occurred, I mean, I still got a pretty good life. But if I'd have been like a shrewd entrepreneur, I should probably be worth $20 million, and I'm not. Which I don't give a fuck about, because if I had 20 million, my life wouldn't be any different now than it was then. It still worked out for me. I just wouldn't have had as much money in the bank. But I got shit fucking lucky, man. Believe me, I'm a lucky motherfucker. I'm the laziest son of a bitch you've ever met in your life. I know my strong points and my weak points, and I'd like to say that I've pegged them both to 100%. Now, it isn't everything, but it was enough to jack off full time, which I'm grateful for. No, yeah, I get an iron, yeah. Nah, I don't. Nah, I don't. I mean, people would say I'm successful. I'll tell you what I am. I'm lucky. I'm lucky is what I am. I should really be broke. I got lucky. Believe me, I know so many people that are 1,000 times smarter than me. Any private detective that I know that I competed with, those motherfuckers are still working. I sold that place in 1992, and they're way better. They run way better agencies. They're probably better PIs. I got lucky. Oh, I do. Believe me, man. I'm full of work, and I think that's part of the. I think I'm a generous person, and I think that has a lot to do with it. Is I know it was luck. It had nothing to do with discipline, hard work, good grades, none of that fucking horse shit. So when I see, that's why when you see like a deal last week when I bought that homeless guy a phone, big fucking deal. Here, this motherfucker's broke. He's had some hard times. What really got me to buy him the phone, excuse me, is he couldn't come up with a happy childhood memory. And I thought right then, I'm going to buy this motherfucker phone. $90, big fucking deal. I haven't fucking done shit since 1992, and I just built a new house and live on 200 acres and still jack off all day long. And I buy somebody a phone, big fucking deal. So there's a big difference in being it is an addiction. That's true. Yeah, it's true. But you know what though? It isn't like it really. I mean, you're going to get like women on here, particularly, that are going to say, "Yeah, well, look what it costs you." It's like, excuse me, you're single, you're old. I don't mind being like single, old, and alone. I really fucking don't. That's where I think I really hit the home run. So you can argue for the fucked up behavior that manifested itself. I got lucky with a lot of this bullshit, or I'd probably be in a goddamn relationship. Yeah, I mean, but big deal. If I got so lucky. What's fucking buying some poor motherfucker a $90 phone? I mean, so what? It's like nothing. I mean, I know how lucky I got, which is, I do think that probably has something to do with being generous, you know? Yeah. But I mean, really, I mean, I'd love to give you an example of a consequence this life has led me to, but I really can't. No, the reason, I mean, the reason is because I know what the fucking score is, man. I don't mind like being a good guy, but I got fucking lucky. I did. Believe me, I know people that are broke and smarter and more educated, and my laziness paid off. The minute I got a chance to make that kind of money, I said, fuck work. And I've been able to parlay that into fucking 35 years and not doing shit. Yeah, I don't really hate myself though. I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't. But I know what the score is. It seems like, I don't feel like I know what happened here. You know what I mean? I never worked hard or anything. Always a bad student. I mean, this is a terrible story to tell kids. They'd all turn out to be nothing. Because why? They didn't get lucky. Yeah, you're right, Blue. That's true. I got fucking lucky. Fuck yeah, I did. Yeah, I just think it's too late. Believe me, I've been in a couple mental institutions. So I have had depression, but it isn't related to what I've experienced. I've seen psychiatrists. I've been on all these goddamn antidepressants and shit. But I don't think that had anything to do with what I just explained to you. I think it was separate. I mean, maybe the depression was linked to the porn. I don't know. But I'm just saying, when the dust settled, it's worked out not bad. You know? 60, I just turned 68. Yeah, I just turned 68. And I just got this, I'll give you a perfect example. I'm light complected. I've had skin cancer. I haven't had any of the big ones like Merkel cell or melanoma. But I've had squamous cell, actinic keratosis, basal cell is fucking shit. Liquid nitrogen, the Mohs procedure, big deal. It's not going to affect my fucking modeling career. And I just got a kind of rare lymphoma. Now it's categorized as lymphoma, but it's not the kind that metastasizes and kills you. And I just had a PET scan today, and I thought, I haven't been feeling too good, and wonder if I got this shit went into my brain or something. So I was a little worried about that. Not necessarily dying, but suffering. So, fuck it. It is what it is. Yeah, thanks, Blue. It's good. A person's weird. Another fucking stalker. So I got an idea. If I was a betting, they're going to find me face down in a fucking Debbie Does Dallas CD here in the next 10 to 15 years. And I'm lucky to get that long, really. Yeah, I think it has worked okay. Yeah, Pushy, you're right. Yeah, get rid of them. I keep thinking about doing another business, but for what? I just why? Yeah, thank you. Why do this? I'm just planning on just reading these books, watching porn, going out to eat. People can visit if they want. And that's it, man. I know I got maybe 10 more years or 15. Probably. You just never know. Well, not really. I mean, I don't do shit, man, tell you the truth. Fuck with these birds. Feed the birds. Yeah, fucking bird watching is catching up to watching porn. That's what really worries me. 10 years ago it would have been fuck those birds. Crazy. Getting old. You know what I'm talking about. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah, but overall I've been pretty damn lucky. I got fucked on that divorce, but that's all right. I don't even get. That's why I know my hormones are fucking dying out because you know I don't. I mean I did get fucked on that deal for sure. But everybody that doesn't get a favorable outcome on a divorce says that. Now I'm one of them. So I am appealing it. I think I'll prevail, but even if I don't, it's not going to change my lifestyle at all. Yeah, aging sucks. Oh, thank you, Ken. Yeah, it's really not. So it's really not that big of an issue. Yeah, I mean, I'm happy with an asterisk. I don't think I'm like that happy to be honest with you. But I think that's fucked up genes from like idiopathic chronic depression. In other words, you have it, you experience it, but you don't know why. I don't really think it's like, but you never know. You never know about this. It's like growing up being a guy wanting to suck cock. I mean, why? I mean, you had straight parents. I mean, a lot of this shit, you just go to your grave. You'd never really know why. You know what I mean? Yeah, my Michigan property. There's another example too. And it's like, it was a young couple. I gave them a ton of shit, paid their closing cost, gave them some cash because I wanted them to fucking have it. And it's like they think I'm like the greatest guy that ever lived. They can't believe that a non-relative. Well, you guys know why now. I mean, I probably could have made another 20 grand. I didn't really give a fuck, to be honest with you. It was more interesting to me to like help a young couple starting out that's still fucking 5 times a day, that doesn't know shit, that didn't have the wherewithal to get traditional financing than it is for the 20 grand. That's where I'm at now. Yeah, I was happy to do it. Believe me, I was happy to do it. And not only that, I only paid 75 grand for that place and I lived in it for 12 years. And I sold it to them for 137. I mean, you just can't just I just don't think that's still why I pay full retail for books at Barnes and Noble. It isn't because I can't get them cheaper on Amazon or eBay, but I go in there, I fuck around, I drink a coffee, I look at books, I page through them, I sit down, I decide if I like them or not. If they're not there, you can't do that on the internet. And I want them to be around. And if it means paying 30% more for books than I could get them for someplace else, I'm going to fucking do it. I'm older now. I know better. Oh, good, Penny. Yeah. I'm drinking it's called Voodoo Ranger. It's an ale, which I'm not a big fan of. Ale, Voodoo Ranger. Yeah, I've been so goddamn lucky. It's unbelievable. That's why, like, I just went in and got this PET scan, which I could have had like cancer that metastasized. Although honestly, I researched it, and it was pretty unlikely. But I don't feel that great a lot of the times. And I had already made up my mind. If you got to have enough fucking balls, like Toby Keith, to not be a pussy when you're looking at the Grim Reaper. For real, you've had a good life. You took the high road, and don't be a fucking pussy if they tell you you got like 4th stage cancer. Do not get this chemotherapy. I already made up my mind. I'm not getting that shit. And a lot of it all comes down to like I knew, well, honestly, the last time I was in a mental hospital was about 6.5 years ago. And they refer to it as like a come to Jesus moment. But I remember you get a lot of time to think when you're in there. When you're in one of those places, all you're doing is trying different drugs, and the only thing that matters is lunch, dinner, and breakfast. That's all you wait for, what they're gonna have, what time it is, because there's nothing else to do. A lot of fucked up old magazines and stuff. And during that time, I had a lot of time to think, and I thought, you know what? I am never doing like a fucked up goddamn thing again in my life. Like if I found a wallet, you just take the money and you leave the ID, or have sex with somebody that's still married, or all this bullshit that you know in your mind is wrong. And I was kind of like that anyway, but it helped put the cherry on the top of like this way. Like, say I would have got a bad outcome from this PET scan, and they say, well, you got 4-stage cancer, it's metastasized, you got like a year to live. At least I had the good enough conscience to know that it wasn't because of some fucked up shit that I did. Yeah, it wasn't some like stupid, rotten shit. So if I got a diagnosis like that, you do die. You don't last forever, but it wasn't because of being a fucker. Oh, thank you, Ken. Yeah, that's the way I look at it. Yeah, that's another thing too, hippie chicks. As long as we're on this subject, here's another thing too. This will help make sense of it. I never really liked intercourse, just blowjobs. I know it sounds fucking crazy. Now women are gonna say, well, you are one selfish motherfucker. You don't want to do anything to them, and all you want is a blowjob. You know what? Yeah, that's right. It's true. But I also don't like green beans. And it isn't because I'm being selfish to carrots. There's just some shit that you get in your mind that you go with. And that's a big, huge problem if you're having a relationship with women. I don't want to do any of that shit. And it wasn't because I was selfish. I just really wasn't into it. It's true. The number one male prostitute place in the world is Fort Lauderdale. She's barking at the deer eating corn outside of my bedroom. See, I got lucky on that gay shit. I got picked up by a gay guy when I was like 16, hitchhiking. And he ended up being president of the Red Wings, the hockey team. And we were great friends. And, he popped it on me one day after I knew him for about 3 years and said, well, if it bothers you, I understand you don't want to be friends, that kind of thing. And really, I really considered about not being friends because I came from like a blue collar, pipe fitter, union, redneck fucking environment. And I'm glad that I met it. And after being friends with him, like I've been to a million like gay parties and shit, and I could give a fuck about that. It doesn't interest me, but I knew I was lucky back then when it still wasn't too trendy to realize that these guys just like fucking dick, and it had nothing to do with them as people. You know what I mean? So from a very young age, that shit didn't bother me, and I got to see it from the inside and socialize, and knew these fuckers, and it's probably had a lot to do with the way I think about it now. I mean, I sat in the front row of every sporting event and every concert for 20 years. It doesn't bother me at all. Penny, you hitting that scotch tonight? Did you get any counseling for that, JMO? Well, it's not over yet. Like grief counseling? There's some good books on that too. I could send you some good books. It is. It sure is. And it's individualized. It is complicated. Yeah, but that doesn't do much for the grieving on your end. My my buddy likes coins, Ken. He's really into coins big time. The guy that talked me into coming down here. Yeah, it sucks. That's a lot on a person's mind. Yeah, it is. It changes you. No, I believe it can. Those are the kind that are really run away with you because it's socially acceptable. You're not going to rehab. But you found value in coins and it hooked you. I was that way with antiques, Civil War letters, and marbles. Well, that's why JMO, if you like maybe talk to a professional, I mean there's a method to the madness and the logic, something that you believe from a non-biased, objective pro. Yeah, Penny suffered some significant loss too, JMO. Hey, Chris. Yeah, we had a good time tonight. It would, but it's possible. And it's different than, a local coffee clutch. Yeah, but that doesn't change what happened. Do you feel guilty, JMO? Yeah, but that's different than guilt. Right. But that's not your fault. And Penny, if you could have kept your son from being into drugs, you would have. Yeah. Oh, that's a good guess, Chris. Hey, Mike. Right, Boo. I will, Chris. Yeah, good talking to you, Ken. Congratulations getting off that dope. Keep collecting coins. It's socially acceptable. I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, you're right, JMO. Good night, hippie chick. I'm just sitting here lying here. Really. Yeah. No bars here. We're super rural. It's the most rural county east of the Mississippi. Only 1,500 people in the whole county. It'd be too much work, right? Yeah, but at least we're not like 20 years old. I can't imagine what this future for these young people. How'd you end up there, Aaron? No, every young person I talk to is like that. No, I believe it, Mike. I hate to agree with you. Yeah, it is, JMO. You're right. Yeah. Yeah, right, Mike. Yeah, roll with it. Right, Penny. You found it, Penny. I enjoying it. Good for you. Oh, you were, Penny. Oh, it's been that long. Yeah, it doesn't help. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Seems longer ago than that. No, her son died. Their sons died. Nine months. Good for you, Blue. No, it's not. Yeah. Where are you going, Iron? Where are you going? Oh, good. Good luck. Air Alaska? Oh, yeah, I get that. It's a common problem up there. Seasonal affective disorder. Yeah, it's Yeah, I believe that. Daunting. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go to bed too, Penny. You have a good day tomorrow. You guys, I hope everybody has a good day tomorrow. Appreciate you coming on tonight. It's a way to do these chats, just impromptu chats, unplanned. More fun this way. Blue, you have a good night. Chris, Iron, JMO, everybody else out there. Chris, you party on. Mike, have a good night. Good to see you. Guys, party on. Yeah, good talking to you. Good luck on that property. Tell them to lubricate the jack screw if you're in the tail, if you're flying Air Alaska. Bye, Penny. See you, JMO. Yeah, it'll be a much more pleasant trip. Yeah, good night, you guys. Thank you. It's fun. You party on. I will.